Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on which part of the world you're seeing my video from. You're welcome to Enuani Cultural Forum, where we promote the rich cultural heritage of Igbo. You are welcome on board. This day, the 15th day of January 2026. Welcome to Enuani Cultural Forum. Today we are going to be looking at the decision of our Igbo political leaders to endorse the presidency or the 2027 presidential ambition of the incumbent president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, it was the APC leaders that did so, but it has ramifications. That is the topic we are going to be looking at today. They have also called on any Igbo aspirant, any aspirant from an Igbo that intends to run for the election to step it down. This decision was reached in Enugu, and what we are doing here is to consider what could have fueled such a decision, such an important decision. What could have fueled it? What could have fueled such an important decision? At such a critical time, when Igbo are demanding a lot of things from the presidency, none of these things we are demanding has been met. None of our outcries, none of our demands have been met. We are asking for an Yoma state to be created. It has not been created. An extra state for the southeast. We are demanding for the release of Mazen and the Kanu. It has not been met. What could have informed this decision by Igbo political leaders to unanimously endorse the 2027 presidential ambition of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the incumbent president of Nigeria? I'm going to read the news article from this day newspaper because it is a fresh news. It happened 2 days ago, but it all came out in the papers yesterday. Barely 11 days after the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Mr. Peter Obi, declared his full membership of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in a bid to pursue his presidential ambition in 2027. The leaders, elders, and critical stakeholders of the All Progressive Congress, APC, in the Southeast yesterday passed resolutions countering any challenge to the President Bola Tinubu's second term aspiration from the zone. Obi, who announced his choice of party in Enugu during a special event organized by the Southeast stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Labour Party, and All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, promised to use the platform to retrieve Nigeria from bad leadership that has been holding the country down. But in the communique reached at the end of their historic Izumunne meeting held at the Presidential Hotel Enugu, the Southeast APC leaders drew a battle line with other political interests in the zone who are opposed to Tinubu's re-election. The motion endorsing President Tinubu for a second term was formally moved by former Senate President Anyim Pius Anyim. The second, and it was seconded by former Senate President Ken Nnamani, who described the decision as courageous and strategic. The APC leaders vowed that the zone would not be swayed into supporting other presidential candidates and scattering the Southeast votes across multiple political parties. At the meeting, the Southeast Zonal APC leaders said they engaged in thorough deliberations on national development, regional challenges, and the strategic place of Igbo in the country's political future. The meeting was well attended with all three APC governors, Hope Uzodimma of Imo, Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi, and the host governor, Peter Mba of Enugu State, all in attendance. In the communique issued at the end of the meeting, the party leaders and critical stakeholders declared the Southeast Zone's unalloyed, total, unwavering support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as our sole undisputed presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. They categorically disassociated themselves and the people of Southeast Zone from all activities motivated by the self-serving interests of any individual, however highly placed. They held the progress of our region and zone and our great party cannot be achieved through narrow personal ambitions or actions that fracture collective unity. According to the communique, any such conduct shall henceforth be regarded as contrary to our shared aspiration and will receive neither endorsement nor support from our zone. I believe this is just to clear the air. This is just to save their political face. Good morning, my brother James. This is just for them to save face. But we know they are speaking for themselves because of their own parochial interests as well. Otherwise, why will any right-thinking person from the Southeast undermine the ambition of Igbo to support a Yoruba candidate? Why? Perhaps people are suffering from selective amnesia and forgetfulness, or they are deliberately being deceitful and mischievous. We will have to remind them that in this present political dispensation, and even as far back as 1982, was the last time any human being from the Igbo extraction ever held a position close to the presidency. These two elder statesmen, who I would respectfully not want to insult, Anyim Pius Anyim and Senator Ken Nnamani, were Igbo people who held positions such as the Senate President. Those were the only positions that ever came to Igbo land. And we assumed it was our birthright to be Senate President until now, when we are not even holding anything prominent. Are these Igbo people not ashamed? Are these our Igbo brothers not ashamed at all? How could they gather in a meeting, people of over 60-something years, some in 70s, make such a laughable decision? Since 1999, the mantle of leadership has passed from Hausa to Ijo, Yoruba to Ijo, Ijo to Hausa, Hausa to Yoruba. Where is Igbo in this? Where are we? Thank you, my brother Chizi. It's not just a Yoruba candidate, because if the particular president is performing very well, we will not even be looking at his ethnicity. Ethnicity will not even be remembered. But the president, his performance is very, very disgraceful. Nothing to write home about. And then people gather together to say any other ambition from the Southeast will not be supported by the people. Which people? Is it these three men that I mentioned their names, or just the three governors from the Southeast who are in APC? One Peter B garnered over 6,000, over 12,000 votes that were rigged out because he was rigged out of office, which remains one of my biggest disappointments in him. I expected that as people voted for for Peter Obi in the last general election, he would have stood to defend those votes. But he asked everybody to calm down, that he would challenge the process in court. And that's where we are today. Everybody knows he won the election. Everybody knows he won the 2023 general election. And he was only given 6,000 votes by Mahmoud Yakubu, who has now been rewarded with an ambassadorial position. If he got over 6 million votes in the last general election, who are these three men, these three governors to insist who gets what in an Igbo? Peter Obi did not get his 6 million votes from the southeast alone. He won election in places like Delta, places like Lagos, places like Abuja. He won election in all these places. It was not only Igbo votes. It is people who believe in his ideologies. So the idea of Igbo coming together to truncate the ambition of one of their own, just few days after he declared his membership of ADC, is not just laughable, it is condemnable. It should be met with opprobrium from every corner of Igbo land. It is a disgrace that instead of encouraging more Igbo to come out and we will later harmonize our interests, they are discouraging the one person who is showing signs of coming out. Who do us now? In 1999, when we returned to democracy, Obasanjo ran against Olufalaye, he won. Yoruba man. He ruled for his 2 tenures, handed over to an Hausa man, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. His health failed him, bringing in an Igbo person from the Niger Delta region, from the South region, to become president. Jonathan ruled for a calculated number of 6 years or so. And he gave way when he lost the election to Muhammadu Buhari, another Hausa man. Buhari ruled for 8 years, handed over his baton again to a Yoruba man. Where is Igbo in this calculation? Where? Are we not qualified to rule Nigeria, or are we not a part of Nigeria? Why is it that whenever something is zoned to the south, and also a Yoruba man rushes out to take it, and then Igbo clap on? I am mostly disappointed in people like Senator Ojus Okalo, who in his prime, when he was a governor, was a very vocal, active voice of opposition. Now that he is growing old, that he's supposed to solidify or consolidate his voice, he has suddenly become a vegetable. He has suddenly become a political puppet in the hands of people who he was governor in the same time with. When Tinubu was governor, Ojus Okalo was governor, I expect him to stand up as a man to defend the cause of Ndi Igbo. But what are we seeing? We are seeing elders telling children to sit down, don't talk, don't come out. What is the political future of Ndi Igbo in this alignment? If you support a Yoruba man to go for his second term and he goes, after his second term, what happens to us as Ndi Igbo? An Hausa man will come in and do 2 terms again. Do we expect that when it is turn of the South, a Yoruba man who is known for his saboteur character and his betrayal, will then allow Ndi Igbo to go? Is it possible? What sort of political alignment are we doing? Instead of supporting Tinubu to go back, we rather support an Hausa man to take over from him. So that when the Hausa man finishes, he can hand over to us. This position was not given to Yoruba people. It was given to the South. Anybody from the South is qualified to contest for it. Why is it that when something is given to the South, the Yoruba people embrace it and grab it with all their hands, while Ndi Igbo continue to clap? People that should be talking are the ones holding meetings. Imagine 2 Senate presidents. It was only Adolphus Wabara who is missing there. All other persons who have been Senate presidents in Igbo came together for this disgraceful meeting to announce that if you are an Igbo son or daughter, who wants to run for the presidency, you should tone down your ambition for a Yoruba president who doesn't know his left from his right. Because in case they need somebody to tell them the president's performance is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. A country that can hardly pay salary, minimum wage of 75,000 naira. Petroleum pump price is around 900 and something naira. And people are keeping quiet and moving on as if nothing is happening. Every election year we hear the same story. Hold on. Or they even say corruption is fighting back. And people are dying, people are suffering. Now you have an opportunity to right the wrongs by voting in a person who can do the job, and you say nobody should come out from the southeast. It is just very distasteful. I'm reading a piece from the news article that came from that meeting, that disgraceful meeting that held in Enugu. Although these people are members of the All Progressive Congress, I expect them to speak like members of All Progressive Congress. There was never a time I will expect them to speak for us. Never a time at all. Look at the news headline everywhere. Southeast political leaders pledge unalloyed support for Tinubu. Where are we heading as a people? Where? Leadership newspaper captures it like this. Leaders of the All Progressive Congress, APC, from the Southeast geopolitical zone have pledged their support for President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027. They made the pledge at the conclusion of the Zoom Monday gathering in Enugu, where the leaders resolved to support the APC as the most practical party for the region's development. What development are we talking about? Exactly, what development? What development has this particular administration brought to an Igbo? What kind of development has it brought? Is it not in this same administration ka no na agbasha okwu ndị Igbo okwu na Lagos? Na akwatu ndị ha ga-akwatu. Ndị ha nwere ike ịkwatu akpa ya okwu. Is it not this same administration? Or what are the shop ndị mmadụ? Shop ndị mmadụ nọ n'ime ya. How senseless and insensitive can our political leaders be? Please, if you are just seeing this video, kindly give it a thumbs up. I would like this video to reach as many people as it can. Let it be pushed up in the algorithm. I want to read the statement of Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State because he is the host governor. He said, I am thrilled even more so by the major goal of this meeting, which is to stamp a seal of endorsement on the president's bold reforms and his candidacy in the 2027 election. This is no whimsical decision. It is rooted in facts and the understanding that success as a region comes from vision that is clear enough to guide action, discipline strong enough to withstand pressure, strategy grounded in reality, and delivery that is relentless. Politics is nurtured by partnership, the willingness to trust each other, to align and to work together, even when the path is challenging. This is so disgraceful of Governor Peter Mba, so shameful of Peter Mba, that as a governor from the Southeast region, you have the right to support your candidates. Now telling Igbo that they should be as foolish as you are is where I have problem. We are not foolish people. We are Republicans. We are Democrats. Democracy has existed in Igbo long before the white man came with the concept of democracy. Long before Abraham Lincoln was born. Igbo have practiced democracy and understood the tenets and principles of democracy. Ọchịchị onye kwuo uche is not what a white man handed over to Igbo. It is something that has been with us. What is our benefit for aligning with a Yoruba man to complete his second tenure? Why not ask the Yoruba man to do one tenure, we do one tenure? Why? If the opportunity is for the South, and then the Igbo have never held the position of president since 1999, what then stops us from saying, give us this time? Are we not qualified? Are we not part of the entity called Nigeria? Who is afraid to have an Igbo man as president, even if it's for one term? As Peter Obi has been saying that he is ready to do one term. Why the fear? Why the fear of allowing Igbo to be president? Is it because when an Igbo man enters, he will decentralize the ports and open up the ports in every corner? Is it because when an Igbo man enters, he will decentralize power and allow the regions to breathe? Is it because when an Igbo man enters, things will be done the right way? Who is afraid to have an Igbo man as president? Who is stopping the ambition of people who were presidents, people who were governors when the present president was a governor, people who were his colleagues? Odjus Okalo was a colleague of Tinubu. When Tinubu was president, when Tinubu was governor of Lagos State, Odjus Okalo was governor of Abia State. How then is it that when he should be speaking up as an elder statesman of Igbo, he is sitting there at the Senate, even fighting the governor of his home state? How shameless can people be, especially the political class? How shameless can they be? What is the strategic importance of this particular alignment with Tinubu? An administration that has proven itself to be the worst in the history of Nigeria. Everybody cried that Buhari was bad. Tinubu is worse than Buhari. Worse than Buhari. 200 times worse than Buhari. Everybody cried against Buhari. Hey, wicked man, bad man. Buhari, in terms of administration, is a wizard where Tinubu is. Tinubu knows nothing about administration. And his administration so far is a way of making Nigeria a one-party state. And that is what they are dwindling to. That is why all the governors are rushing to become members of APC and declare solidarity with APC. Otherwise, they will be probed. Otherwise, they will be victimized. Otherwise, the FCC will come after them. They are being cajoled, being forced to become members of the All Progressive Congress. That is what we have as a country today. And rather than sit tight and keep quiet or speak up against this, our Igbo political leaders in APC had the effrontery to hold a meeting and discourage anybody from an Igbo that wants to contest against the president. Yes, people will run against the president. If you don't know it now. Several sons and daughters from Igbo land will pick up tickets and they will run against the president. And if the process be free and fair, they will defeat him squarely. Before 2 p.m. on election day, President Tinubu will have lost the election if it is a free, fair, and credible process. If Amopitan will sit up and do a free, fair, and credible election, the incumbent president will be dislodged from Aso Rock in due course. It is not something debatable. He has failed to, by his performance, convince Nigerians, both in the north, south, and even in his own southwest, that he is worthy to occupy the position of president. He grabbed it and said it was his turn. Yes, now you have it. It is time for administration. All the while he has been politicking. He has been politicking rather than administer. And now he is looking for endorsement from every right, left, and center. From those who are beneficiaries of his administration. Let this go as a warning to all Igbo governors. 2027 was just a testing of microphone. The microphone was just being tested. If you think people voted Peter Obi in 2023, wait till 2027. And now we are no longer naive. Now we are no longer naive. You cannot write our result for us again. If you are not willing to electronically transmit results, don't even bother to come and do election in some of the communities. If you are not willing to transmit results electronically, don't even bother to come to the communities to do election. Because you are not going to have election hold. We have kept quiet long enough. As much as the president is a Nigerian, every one of us is a Nigerian. And until we cease to be Nigerians, we will all stand up and fight for this country, for its soul. Or the country should break up already and everybody should go their way. It's as simple as that. If we must continue as a country, we must sit up and get things right. This country doesn't belong to Yoruba people. It doesn't belong to the Hausa people. It belongs to every Nigerian, regardless of their tribe or ethnicity. So the endorsement coming from Enugu State is just a step in the very wrong direction. And it's a dent on the image of all the governors that attended that meeting. And all the so-called political stakeholders that attended that meeting. Ranging from Ken and Namane to Anyim Pius Anyim. Both of them should bury their heads in shame. Because you could have held your party meeting and done whatever you want to do. I'm not telling Igbo to go left or go right. You have no right to speak for Igbo. Because you have done nothing, absolutely nothing for Igbo. Any Igbo son that is qualified politically has the constitutional right to run against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the forthcoming general election. So, any Igbo son is completely qualified, is 100% qualified to run against Tinubu in the 2027 general election. But then, we must harmonize our political interests so that our voting strength will be in bulk for one candidate. Why am I talking politics in 2026? Because I know that it is 2026 that produces candidates who were aspirants. Those candidates will be presented to us in 2027 for election. Any attempt to subdue our aspirants in 2026 will be met with great opprobrium, both in the media and everywhere. I like what I'm seeing them do with Ojo Zokalo in Abia State, where Alex Oti is performing very creditably and is trying to discredit him. I like what is coming to him too. We must stand up in the Igbo to protect what is ours. We have equal stakes in this country. We have sacrificed so much for this place called Nigeria. We have sacrificed so much. Obalandi Igbo to keep Nigeria as one is too much for us to continue to remain silent. If we remain silent, even our ancestors in their grave will be ashamed of us. We are no longer naive about electoral processes. Let them bring on that game that they want to play in 2027. Come and try to rig election. Come and try to write results. Let's see the finger you will use to write it. Come and try to conduct election without transmitting the results electronically. Come and try it. After collecting money to buy electronic voting materials, you still use your finger to cancel as they were doing in Rivers State on the orders of Yeso Wike. You will be cancelling and cancelling and cancelling and rewriting. Let them come and do that rubbish again. We are here waiting. We cannot continue to be quiet and silent. We are all suffering. Everybody in Nigeria is suffering. Those who could have run away. Those who can run away have all run away to other countries. How long shall we continue to run away? This country belongs to all of us. As much as it belongs to the president, we have equal right with him as citizens. If he's not doing well, he should already get out of that position. It is not a position gotten from gerontocracy. It is not an age. It is not an inheritance. He was elected to serve Nigerians and currently he's not serving us well. Election is the best time to democratically dethrone him, and somebody is telling people not to run. Hold a press conference in Igbo and then ask people from Igbo land to tone down their interest for the interest of a Yoruba man that doesn't know his left from his right. Igbo, can you take one? If it is to call your governor to order, you call him to order. Any governor that is misbehaving, call that your governor to order. Any governor that is going left, call him back to the right. We must get things right. Igbo, we must get things right. This is all I have to say this morning. I don't have too much to say. Other than, if you have watched this video and you like what we discussed, kindly drop a comment. Double tap on the video to please help it come up on the algorithm. Good boy. You are going to tell me now that Nigeria is not the solution, that it is better we have our Biafra. While we are in the Nigeria, we will fight for the positions we can get in it. For how long shall we remain a slave? I mean, I know what you're going to say is that it is better we have our own country. If the country is going to tear apart, it should tear apart already. But as long as it remains together, we will not remain under them. We will not remain subservient. How can people hold a meeting and ask all the Igbo people to step down and support Tinubu? Well, I'm very glad that they saw what happened in 2023. And they should know by now that what happened in 2023 was not a mistake. It was not a fluke. We will not be the Suya at all. We are not Fulani. Is Tinubu a Fulani man? We cannot, after serving Fulani as well, we serve Yoruba. No, now. It's not possible. Please double tap on this video to help it come up on the algorithm. I'm going to end the live stream. I just needed to vent this out. It was a very energetic and emotionally charged episode for me. I wasn't happy watching that video on Arise TV. It broke my heart to see Igbo leaders, political leaders, elites, people that should command respect, behaving like essays to governor, behaving like puppets, behaving like children who just joined politics. For God's sake, Ojus Okalo was a governor when Tinubu was governor. Look at Peter Odili, how he speaks from Rivers State. These are his mates. Look at James Ibori from Delta State. Look at Lucky Benegio. I have not seen all these people licking the boots of Tinubu. Why is Ojus Okalo disgracing himself? Because no Igbo. Double tap on this video to give it thumbs up. I want to go offline, but it was so nice discussing this very important topic with you. We are Igbo. We are Republicans. Democracy is what we have practiced before the white man even saw it. No man will subdue us. No woman will subdue us. No group gather together to tell people to tone down their ambition. Nobody should run against the president. Which president? Which president are we talking about? Which president? President that has no plan. That has no plan. Let us even say that he's making progress in his plan. He has no plan. Thank you so much.